Hey, how's it going? This is Nate McAllister from EntreResource.com. Today I have a very important topic, but it's also a bit dry and boring. So if you are suspended on Amazon, you are going to not be bored at all because this is very relevant to you and it could get your business back up. If you aren't yet suspended on Amazon, I'm sorry, I say aren't yet. If you aren't suspended on Amazon, don't worry, you probably won't ever be. But if you aren't suspended on Amazon, go ahead and bookmark this article or this video and come back to it later. You'll want it. I promise the value is gonna be good. I'm gonna try to condense it. If you're not suspended right now, you don't necessarily need to watch it all. But it is good content and it's nice to know. So what am I doing? In this, well, first, a couple things. Number one, do not PM me, email me, call me, asking me to help you with your suspension. I do not do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I will either ignore your message or say no. I'm sorry, it's cold. Suspensions suck. I hate doing them. If you need help, you can hire somebody else. There's a bunch of other great services out there that will help, but not me. Okay, number two, if you are suspended on Amazon and it's because you're actually selling counterfeit stuff, suck eggs, don't watch this video. No one wants you to get back. If you were suspended and you made an honest mistake, you sold something you didn't know wasn't authentic or it was just off quality, keep watching. I want to help you. You're my avatar right now. So in this video, what I'm going to show you is a guy got suspended. I promised I wouldn't use his name. He said I could, but I felt like I don't want to do that to him. But he was okay with it. But he said that I could use him as an example. I said, awesome. My audience will love that. It's very helpful stuff, right? So he got suspended and he had his plan of action accepted. So in this video, I'm not going to cover the plan of action. In this video, I'm going to cover what to do after they accept your plan of action, but they don't accept your invoices. So when you get suspended on Amazon or you get ASIN suspended, they typically want to see your suppliers. They want to see invoices, receipts. Got all dark in here all of a sudden. Man, hold on. Sorry, got super cloudy. Lights back. But when you get suspended on Amazon, they typically want to see suppliers. They want to see where you're getting your products from. They want to know that it's legitimate, right? Because if you're getting counterfeit products, then you're going to have counterfeit sources. So if you are counterfeiting, you try to falsify the documents, they're going to kick you off, and that's their goal, because they want to catch you or prove that you aren't doing it. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you how I go about proving the suppliers. And yes, these are arbitrage suppliers. That's why this topic is especially near and dear to my heart. Number one, I was suspended many years ago. I was not suspended for inauthentic. I was suspended for having too many linked accounts. I got back, but it was not fun. So that's kind of what got me started in the whole suspension business. As people knew that I was suspended, unfortunately. I kind of got that reputation and I started writing letters. And next thing you know, did it for about 2 years. I'm going to show you how to go about getting your information to Amazon in a way that's going to get you back as fast as possible. It's not a lie that Amazon does drag their feet when you don't give them the information they want right away. Even when you give it to them the way they want it, sometimes they're still going to drag their feet, give you canned messages. But hopefully after watching this, you'll feel more confident to get your account back and do it in this way. So it'll hopefully minimize the number of back and forths you have to have with Amazon. A couple days earlier, getting back could be thousands, tens of thousands of dollars back in your pocket, depending on how big your account is. So let's get into my computer and I'll show you what we're doing. All right, first thing you'll probably notice is that I do these all in Google Docs. I love Google Docs. I don't see any point in doing these in Microsoft Word. So if you do them in Google Docs, you can share the files really easily and edit them with other people. So if back when I did them with clients, I would write the letter and I'd send them a share link and they could edit it. That was really great. It's a cool feature. And it's also easy to embed URLs in here, which is important. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here in a second. But let's start from the very beginning. Remember, this letter is a reply after they've accepted the plan of action. Maybe I'll do a video someday in the future showing the plan of action. And if I've already made it and it's in the future, and I will have linked to it in the description below. But right now, as of April 27th, I have not done that video. So this is assuming they've already accepted the plan of action, right? And let me start right here from the beginning, and we'll go through word by word, and I'll explain the logic behind why everything is the way it is. And spoiler alert, this fellow who let me do this, he has already been reinstated, so that was sweet. But yeah, this is not a live appeal. I tried to do it live and it just didn't work with my schedule. So I decided to come back to it now and finish it up. But yeah, everything in here worked perfectly. So it's good info. And I'm going to go through it now word by word. Okay, before we get too far ahead, let me show you what the actual letter looked like, the most recent letter from Amazon Seller Performance. They said, hello, we still need information about the items complained by the buyer as used, sold as new, listed at the end of this email. Please reply to this email with copies of invoices or receipts that include the following: supplier information, name, phone number, address, website, buyer information, item description, item quantities, invoice date. You can send PDF, JPG, PNG, or GIF files, which is a crazy option, really. These documents must be authentic and unaltered. We may call your supplier to verify the documents. They don't. You may remove pricing information, but the rest of the information must be visible. We will maintain the confidentiality of your supplier contact information. And then they gave us the used items down there. So that's what the letter looks like. Now let's get into the actual plan of action. So first we start off with just a basic Dear Seller Performance. And I say, thank you for your thorough reply and for approving our plan of action. A good letter doesn't waste words. Everything you say should have a purpose and you shouldn't be redundant. So one of the goals of this first sentence is I wanted to remind them that they've approved my plan of action, because believe it or not, Amazon will approve your plan of action and then act like they just want invoices, and then they'll ask for your plan of action again. And that part is really frustrating because, you know, it almost makes it so that no matter what you did, you couldn't get back. At least not on those first couple of letters, right? And like I said, a couple of days can mean thousands of dollars for you. So you always want to do that. So right here where I put, thank you for your thorough reply and for approving our plan of action. That part's important. I want them to remember right away that they approved my plan of action already. So a subtle thing, and you can just copy that. You can actually copy all of this and use it in your letter if you'd like. Well, obviously you'll change the ASINs, but we'll get to that. All right, so next sentence. We have reviewed your request for additional information regarding ASINs, blah, 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 blah. Next, I put literally verbatim, copy and pasted what they requested here. I said, we've included a more thorough and complete summary of each invoice and have included the supplier information, buyer information, item descriptions, item quantities, and invoice dates. That is copied and pasted from their last contact to us, right? And I wanted them to know, the reason I used a complete summary and more thorough is because I want them to know that we actually did more for this letter. It's not the same letter. I want to hammer that home because they sometimes will send the same canned reply as if you sent them the same letter. And I want them to know that that's not the case. So you see, I kept this introduction really short, and that's how it should be. Now let's get into the actual ASINs. I did a little line here. You know, when you do things in Google Drive, one thing to keep in mind is that the formatting isn't going to transfer the same when you send it via email. So the line will actually be, you'll lose that, you'll lose some of the bullets, but they get the picture. You should put it together kind of for your own sake, and you can also link to the drive if you would like in your emails. I usually just have in the past had clients just copy and paste the text exactly as it is. So I said, we've gone through each ASIN one by one, but you can find all the ASIN receipts in the link below. One of the things that I do is, especially with arbitrage receipts, you have to edit them a lot. And I know that a lot of you are Amazon sellers and you're not photo editors. I get that. I know. And when I say edit, I don't mean tamper with or forge or falsify. I mean annotate and draw attention to certain aspects that Amazon's looking for. When Amazon's going through your letter, you need to keep this in mind. This is a rule of thumb. You have to be as quick as possible. If they're scanning through something and they have to work too hard, they're going to stop working and they're just going to send you a canned reply and make you do the hard work again until you either give up or you explain it even better. So be clear as early as possible. I'm going to show you what clarity looks like. So I'm going to open up the folder here of all of the ASINs, all of the receipts that I've gathered. And if you're curious how I did this, you do this with Google Drive. You can create a new folder. You can also do this with a tool like Dropbox. For this example, I'll use Google Drive. I love Google Drive. Basically, you create a new folder, and then you would just drag and drop your completed images into the folder. And then you'd have them like this. And if I want to, I can copy this, get a shareable link. I can copy that link. And then let me show you in my browser bar. Basically, I can share that. I can share that, and anyone can see that, right? So that's great. So let me show you what an annotated invoice looks like. Now, the invoices that I was given did not look like this at all. What I did was I used a tool called Snagit. Snagit is a tool that lets you kind of edit the images a little bit. You can crop them, and you can do what I've done here, which is these annotations. Because this ASIN, to someone who doesn't know the product, when they're scrolling down here looking at this, they have no idea which product it is. There's all these products on here, and this is a very tame receipt. If you get a receipt from CVS, I mean, those things are mile long. If you have dozens of products on there and you just give them the receipt and say, here you go, figure it out, it's not going to work. So that's what you have to do here. So I draw attention to it. I put it in this rectangle, make it red, put a little arrow on it, and then I literally type the ASIN on there. And then I rename the file as the ASIN, right? And then just like with the folder, I can get this shareable link that I use, and I do use, and use it in my letters so that when they click on it, they can see the image very, very quickly, very carefully. A lot of sellers will just, like I said, crap all their stuff together into one folder and then, or a zip file, and send it to them and say, figure it out, I'm good, those are my invoices. It doesn't work that way. Even if they are legitimate, if they can't tell they're legitimate, they're going to make you go back and do the work. So you might as well do it now, because you'll have to do it at some point. Sound good? Okay, so that is my folder that has all of the ASINs in it and all of my receipts. And I like to start with that first. And then I break down each one by one, and I show them everything that they asked for. Literally everything that they asked for. I don't do it in the exact same order that they do. I recommend, though, that you use the exact same format that I do here, because it's very easy to read and understand, and it has worked for me many times. So first I do the ASIN. I just literally copy and paste that ASIN. And then I put the product description exactly as that ASIN is on Amazon. And then I put the quantity purchased. And now each time that you, this is what kind of stinks about arbitrage sometimes, is that when you have like a bunch of different receipts, like let's say that you get a counterfeit and you were selling, I don't know, cups, who knows? And you got a counterfeit for them, but you had sourced from Rite Aid 7 different times over the last 365 days. They're going to want to see all of those receipts. They're going to want to see a total that's close to the total that you have in stock, and definitely close to the total that you've sold. So I know that kind of stinks, but you have to do it. So for this, when I put quantity purchased, that's referring to the quantity that are on this first receipt, right? And then let me show you the receipt. I link to the receipt so they can easily click it and open it up. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I put the Visa number down there. Something I'll touch on that in a second. With these arbitrage receipts, in order to prove that they're legitimate, sometimes you have to go as far as actually tracking the 4 numbers on the Visa all the way back to the account holder. And this is a dead account now. Like, he canceled the card, so don't worry. That's what he said I could share this. But yeah, so there's that one, and that's 4 of those. Luckily, I believe that with that ASIN, we only had 1 receipt, so that's good. But then coming down to another ASIN, let's finish this up. Then I put for the supplier, it was Rite Aid. Supplier phone number, the phone number should be up here, and there it is. And then for the address is also up there. You guys, you have to fill this stuff out. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. They want to see that. For supplier website, don't overthink this. Just put riteaid.com. If it's Walmart, put walmart.com. for the buyer name, use the name of whoever owns the account or the credit card that's linked to it that was used for the purchase. That's important because you're going to have to prove the credit card is attached to the account. Buyer phone number, that doesn't really matter, but you do add your phone number there. Buyer address, put that, that's just your address. Make sure that, you don't put some crazy foreign address in there. Like if you have 2 houses and one overseas, I don't know. I can't imagine messing that up. But then for all of these, you're basically just going to copy these 3 and you can just paste them all down through the rest of them to save yourself some time. Make sense? Okay. So that's that. And one thing you'll notice here, this is a cool little hack. You notice that the link, I told you guys that you could share these Google Drive links. One thing that you can also do, and this is like a next level hack that you don't have to do. You can take these links, and there's a tool called snip.ly. It's a link shortener. There's a bunch of other tools that do it too. Bitly is a big popular one. Basically, you paste the link, and then you can get a shortened version of it. And then the cool thing is that when someone clicks on that, you can actually see if they've ever clicked on it, which is cool because look, when I did this originally, I can see that people were actually clicking on the links. The first one was me, but the next one they clicked on, so that I can tell that they actually were opening them. And another thing that's very frustrating is sometimes Amazon will do one of those canned replies, and you can see they'll say that your invoices weren't good, and you can see that they didn't open them. And at that point, if that happens multiple times, that's when you can escalate it like to Jeff Bezos or to another number. If you're working with the professional service, they'll probably have some special escalations they can use. But yeah, if they're not even looking at your invoices, it's actually worth mentioning. You don't want to do it right away. You don't want to be accusatory and be like, hey, you guys aren't opening my invoices. You suck, blah, blah, blah. Do your job. Don't do that. But if you've sent multiple letters and you can see that they're not clicking on the links, that's a problem. So that's one of the reasons why I use Sniply. Totally optional. For the most part, they usually do open those, and you don't need to overthink it too much. I do it because I love it. I feel like a detective. I like to be able to prove if they're actually reading them or not. Because if they're not reading it, there's no point in me editing the letter or changing anything, because obviously it's not the letter's problem. It's because they're backed up and somebody's being lazy. And as you see here, like this one, this 43Z6, I have multiple ASINs for that. So I have multiple invoices or receipts on multiple dates. So that's the thing I'm talking about. That's kind of hard and stinks, but you just got to do it, guys. I mean, your business is shut down. You got to do whatever it takes. And sometimes that means going through this process, writing all this stuff out. It's painful, but do it. You just got to. Okay, and then after I've gone through and finished all of these, I'm going to come down here to the bottom and say a note. In order to validate that we did in fact make these purchases, I have attached images of the credit cards used for purchasing. You can see that the last 4 digits match up with the various purchases. You can view these credit cards via the link below. So this is taking another step, because on arbitrage invoices, online arbitrage will have your name, but on retail invoices, it just has your credit card. And they want to know that these aren't just random receipts. And sometimes they'll go as far as asking for this. Well, they don't ask for it, but they say that they can't reinstate you because they can't prove the authenticity, or they can't verify your receipts. So with this, it's bootleg, but it's what works. So what I do here is I took a picture of the credit cards. Well, one example I had to use because the card was closed, didn't even own the card anymore. So one of the examples I had to actually use a letter from his bank. See, guys, I mean, you got to get creative sometimes. I get very creative. And they actually said that was his card, and now it's not. And on the next one, I have a picture of him. He needs to trim his fingernails or get a manicure or something, but yeah, so it's got his name there, and then it shows the last 4 digits of the card. And then after that, just have him copy it and send it on to Amazon, and then we wait. Typically, it's going to take between a day or 2 to get a reply. It is very rare that you get these reinstated on the first try, second try, usually 3, 4, 5 plus times. But if you do it like this, from the beginning, it's gonna greatly speed up the process. So guys, I hope that helps. I know this is boring as dirt, but if you're suspended, I know that this is super important, super valuable stuff that could help you get back much more quickly. Again, don't be shy of using professional services. This is what you get if you use a service like that. This kind of quality. And again, guys, remember, this is not the plan of action. This is just the validation of the invoices. So maybe in another video, I'll show you guys how I'd go about doing a plan of action. There's a bunch of different types of plans and reasons why you'd be suspended. So it's not like there's one plan of action that works for everything. Each one has to be customized. But maybe if I get enough likes on this video, I'll think about doing another one where I show the actual plan of action part. So guys, have a great one. Keep your account safe. I hope you never have to use this, but if you do, make sure to come back. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe.